This is the Stockwell Roueche Show, giving you real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Josh Roueche.
Moving with ease. Move magic. That's the topic of today. We're very excited. We have a special guest, Debbie Lowell here. She is with Senior Move Magic. We're very happy to have her here. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
I'm Josh Roueche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
And we're on every Sunday at 10 a.m. here on AM 1280 The Patriot, the Stockwell Roueche Show. And with us in studio also, we have Jason Light with Envoy Mortgage. How you doing today, Jason?
Great. Thanks for having me.
So a lot of stuff happening for everybody, I would imagine, out there. You're busy. We had the holiday. We have summer's full upon us. We've got real estate stuff we can talk about as far as a market update. But I think everybody's busy with all kinds of other things. And historically, July is not a bang month from real estate standpoint. It's good, but it's not a blow-up month because there's a lot of other stuff going on in the month of July, and that's when people want to really get away and rest and relax. However, with the way the market is set up now and the interest rates, I think July still is a very strong has a very strong market, and we're coming out of June. So what do we have for market update?
I think it's been great. It's been crazy, actually. When I think about summer, my summer starts like with spring. It starts like March, April. Starts coming into the spring months, and then June hits. Then you're like, all right, summer's coming.
Yep.
And then we have July hit, and July 4th. I'm great up until July 4th. After that, then my summer starts. That's when and that's when real estate starts to pick up, for me anyway. So what we're seeing out there, it's picking up. We got numbers are increased. The numbers are showing the support of it. From this time last year, we're up 1.1 or 1.3% in new listings on the market, which is great. We're getting some people are starting to put their houses on the market. Pending sales, people are still putting a lot of offers in, and sales are getting accepted. We're up 20% than when we were at last time this year, or from this time last year. And change in inventory, we're still down on change in inventory, so we don't have a lot of properties getting on the market with the inventory right now. So our inventory from last year is lower than it was this year at this time.
And pending sales are up 20%, and our increased inventory of new listings is up. So there's actually more properties on the market this time than last year. However, there's a ton more pending sales.
Right.
And that's the data you're seeing.
And you're looking
at
the days on market too. It's less than it was last year. We're at 70 days average, 70 days on market for a house to be sold. So
yes.
That's a great stat.
70 days on market, that's awesome. So if you guys have any questions out there, if you want to know your home's value, go to the Stockwell Roueche Show on Facebook or go to tcrealestatehour.com. Click on the market evaluation update on there, and you will get a market update sent to you. No cost, no obligation. You can do that anytime. And feel free to comment anytime on the Facebook page itself under Stockwell Roueche Show and like it. Jason Light, what's happening in mortgage world? Greece. I heard a lot about Greece lately. What's happening?
Greece, China, everything global. In fact, all of that speculation and fear has, gave hints. The Fed's announced that they may delay policy rates. And what it's done is that combined with unemployment, interest rates have actually gone down. And, it's a great time to look at buying a home.
So they may not do the interest rate hike they anticipated doing. They've been talking about it all year, even for part of last year into this
for
year.
3 years.
It seems like it's ongoing, but yeah, that's good for buyers and for anybody looking to refinance. Rates are low, and one of the things that I did want to bring up too is I think a lot of times when we talk about rates and this and that, it can be somewhat dry and boring, and people are responsive. I know I get a lot of customers that are like, oh my gosh, I have to do something. Rates are increasing. At the end of the day, when you look at the last 12 months, the variance has only been like 0.5%, 0.6%. They don't move a ton. So I wanted to throw that out there so that people understand it's nothing to knee jerk to, but ultimately interest rates are low, great time to buy.
Well, I think it's a great time for the sellers too to take advantage of that. You got a lot of buyers out there taking advantage of these low interest rates. It's a great time to get your home listed. Take advantage of all these buyers that are out there trying to take advantage of that lower interest rate and get your home listed.
Yeah, and I know rent has just been continually increasing. Yes. They say it's up 15% since 2010. So if you're a renter and you want to just look at options, it's a good time to look. So
it definitely is. Spending, Elliot Eisenberg, He's with Graphs and Laughs.
Yes.
We talked about the lack of consumer spending a few months ago, actually, that it wasn't at the level that we thought it would be. So people weren't spending money out on consumer products. And it says now household spending should remain healthy for 4 reasons. Household net worth hit a record. So the net worth of households hit a record of $84.9 trillion in first quarter of 2015. That's up $1.6 trillion from the fourth quarter of 2014. So 1 quarter later went up $1.6 trillion. And the ratio of household net worth to personal disposable income is at its highest level since the third quarter of 2007. And household debt service as a percentage is 9.92, its lowest level in over 35 years. And job growth remains strong. So that tells us that we have a very, very healthy, strong economy in many parts, especially here in the Twin Cities. In many parts of the country, we do. So we're very, very happy and grateful for that. All this stuff is saying that we're looking like it was in '07. So hopefully, but some of the statistics here, it looks like as far as the debt to income is lower. So as it's been in 35 years, so that should mean that we should not have, or hopefully not have, a repeat of '08 where there is a massive decrease because everybody's doing it smarter and better this time, and they're locking into great low rates, and they're getting good jobs that have lots of opportunity, and companies are growing and growing and growing. So overall, very, very healthy. So as far as you folks out there that are listening, if you have any questions, you can call us 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
I'm Josh Roueche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
And this is the Stockwell Roueche Show every Sunday, 10 a.m. here on AM 1280 The Patriot. Our guest, special guest, very honored and grateful to have Debbie Lowell here. She is with Senior Move Magic. I was working with a client who is moving into a co-op. And she is a widow, and biggest problem she had was being in the house for 50 years, over 50 years. Hasn't bought or sold a house, has a lot of stuff in the house, says, where do I start? It's overwhelming. What do I do? How does this whole process work? Reaches out to me as her agent and says, hey, can you help me? And I said, okay, yeah, here's a couple of people that you should call for moving and for helping out. I met another agent that I work with very closely sometimes, Donald, and he said, hey, why don't you call Debbie Lowell, because they help with the whole process. And I'll let Debbie introduce yourself, explain what you guys do, what got you into the business, and how you guys operate. And so welcome, Debbie Lowell with Senior Move Magic, and what got you started in this business, and what do you do?
Well, thank you. It's a privilege to be here and tell you more about our company and what we do. But basically, we are a customized specialty service that helps people organize and relocate. So a client like you were mentioning, we come in and we help them through the whole process. So we have the resources to coordinate. So we'll start them on a floor plan so they know what they can take, they know what they need in their new place. Then we will work with them on downsizing. Okay, now you laid out your floor plan, you don't need that furniture. Let's go about getting rid of it. What is the best place for you to do that? Is it selling it? Is it donating it? What is your financial aspect? What do you want from this process? And another key thing is timing. How quickly do you need to move? And so we go through that downsizing process. Then we also come in, pack them up, work with our movers so that we know we have a good crew that comes in. They'll move their stuff to the new place. And then another specialized service that we offer is the unpacking. So at the end
cool.
of the day, you will be unpacked. We can, depending on what you're interested, we even hang pictures, make the bed. We focus on seniors, and that's because that age generally needs help, but we really help people of all ages.
And what got you started, Debbie? So you are the title would be transaction coordinator services of value given with heart is the slogan. Services of value given with heart. So what got you started in this? Have you been with Senior Move Magic for a long time, and what got you started in the business?
Well, probably what really started is that I was born a military brat. I grew up moving across the country, and so personally, I like to move. When
What?
I was I like to move.
No.
When I was a young kid, every time we moved, there was that carrot dangled in front of us about what was going to come with the next move, whether it was going to be our own bedroom or we got a 2-story house, new
Upgrade.
backyard, an upgrade of some sort.
Nice.
And so I try to take that love of moving that I've had and try to take it and communicate that with people that have been in their house for 50 years. Really, some of them are forced to move. Some of them it's time.
Yeah.
And so I tried to make that, what carrot can I dangle in front of you? What can we look at and make this a positive experience?
That's a good way to say it, because it's not, and the perception of moving is definitely not positive in so many ways.
No.
Hassle, pain, money, change, right? We had talked about change last week and how hard that is for people to do a change, especially after long-term 20, 30, 40, 50 years in a house. So that's awesome. I like that. And from someone who likes to move, and I like how you put that, looking at the positive of where you're going, not just focusing on the actual burden and task of the event or the process of moving and going through all that stuff and doing all those things. So, what other things that you guys do? Do you guys help with finding places? I mean, what kind of other things are there? And before we go on break here, we got about a minute. So
Okay. There is actually other resources that help you find places.
like Josh and myself.
Yes, yes. And then for the senior communities, there's services out there that help you find places and know what questions to ask. But we're really the specialty service that comes in, and once you know where you're going, we come in and help move you on. We also do some staging, minimum staging of what they have in their house to
For
make
when
it
it's gonna be
sellable.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, that is awesome. We'll be back with more. We might have some more cool information and great stories from Debbie Lowell with Senior Move Magic. We have Jason Light with Envoy Mortgage here, and I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage Plus.
We'll be back soon. Hang in there.
I can shake it like that. Can you move it like this? I can shake it.
I'm the man who can't be moved. I'm the man who can't be moved. 'Cause if one day you wake up and find you're missing me.
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage Plus.
We are talking about moving and how to make that fun, exciting, and actually enjoyable, which is something that on the first segment we heard from Debbie Lowell, how that can be fun. She likes to move.
Heard that. First time I've ever
Debbie,
heard
the
anyone
first
say it like
person who
that.
said that you like to move. I think that's awesome, and that you found the perfect job and the perfect profession and company to work with and help people with that, because it's so overwhelming sometimes, and it can be so daunting and so something that you procrastinate on and just don't want to do. Frankly, that's what happens with me.
Tearing
anyway.
apart things, put stuff in boxes,
Yes.
put them in bags, dumping it somewhere, going back for another trip, dumping it again, and then laying on the couch in the garage.
Right.
Like, when am I going to unpack all this stuff? Right.
So we are talking about moving. We also have Jason Light in studio here with Envoy Mortgage. So if you or anybody has any questions regarding to real estate, or if you need any resources, go to our Facebook page or our website. We have all kinds of information there. Call us. We have people on like Debbie because they're resources for you. We want to provide value to you, your friends, family, coworkers, in situations where you might be like the client I had who said, Jason, where do I start and what do I even do? I've been here for so long. What's the next step?
I suppose you come across hoarders too, like people that just have all kinds of stuff in their house, just like you mentioned before. Mm-hmm. Is Craig?
Yeah, we're
are you
getting
guys-
into the story part now. This
Are
is
you
the
guys, are
story
you a
part.
big Craigslist fan?
Debbie
You
has a
sell,
bunch of stories, I imagine, about
Yes.
that. So, and hoarding can be, the word is so negative, and you can call someone a
No,
hoarder,
there's a
and
great
it sounds
TV show
bad.
out there.
But, yeah,
That's good.
but the perception is bad on that. But so don't take offense if you may hear the word hoarding and you have a bunch of stuff. I keep a
No,
bunch of
I've
stuff.
got a bunch of stuff.
I keep a bunch of stuff,
and I don't throw anything away.
The proper word should really be collectors.
Okay.
Yes, we are collectors.
Collectors, because the older generation, more was better. And it's a sign of wealth to have
A bunch of stuff.
a bunch of stuff.
Not only that, I think, Debbie, the more is better, but also that generation or the older generation valued things. So they saved them and they used them for their life and then some. Whereas now we're a lot of throwaway society, they call it, where use something, throw it away. It's just,
Do
and
you
we
throw
can
stuff
get
away?
stuff so cheap. No, I don't. But
I
you
don't
can get
either.
stuff so cheaply too now. When you buy stuff, consumer products are so cheap and reasonable when you go to the store sometimes that we don't save and use the stuff to the fullest, which I think is a great and admirable trait or character of the older generation, because
doing
they
on some
use
really cool
things
stuff,
and
yeah.
save it and use it instead of just saying, "Oh, on to the next."
Respect it.
Right.
Yes, respect it, and that transfers over. I don't know. This could be a different topic, but the way you use and treat some of the personal stuff might roll over to how you are on a personal level too, where where you're just kind of burning and churning, and maybe in relationships or with stuff like that, it could be, you got to watch out how that attitude transfers over into your personal life. But we can go into that on another topic, another show. Josh is over here shaking his head, says, "What in the world are you talking about?" But, so. From a senior move, so we got to get into some. Debbie wants to tell. Well, she doesn't want to, but we might have her tell some stories. But first, Senior Move Magic is a proud member of the National Association of Senior Move Management, NASMM, which specializes in senior location. They're governed by a code of ethics and experience that has access to proven resources to provide a nation-wide, smooth, and stress-free transaction, no matter where you're going. So that's a question. Locally here, we're talking in Minnesota, but if someone's in Texas, let's say the kids are in Texas, and your client may be here,
And they're moving out.
can
to
you do
Texas.
that?
Yeah.
Right. In fact, I have at part of this national association gives us the resources all across the country. So family, a lot of people, once they retire, they came to Minnesota for a job, but now all their relatives are in Texas. And so they really want to be closer to Texas because as they age and their health might change or
Warmer climate.
warmer climate, better place. So then we can work with them because we have national van lines that will move them across the country. And we can pack them up here, and then we can coordinate with someone in Texas who will actually unpack them and get them settled. In fact, I have two coming in right now, one from Philadelphia and one from Texas, where
Moving
I've been
here to Minneapolis area?
moving here to the Minneapolis area.
Nice.
So again, one lady's coming in with about 120 boxes. Oh, where do you start? And then also, once they just get it in the place, how do you unpack it? And then what do you do with all that boxes and paper?
And you unpack, again,
and-
we talked about in the first segment, your company offers a service of unpacking as well. Mm-hmm. Now, quick question on that. Who coordinates where the stuff goes?
Yeah.
Well, that's because a lot of times we deal with pictures. And floor plans.
Yes.
Again. So the move manager in Texas will give me what they thought of for the floor plan and a description of some of the items in the boxes. And
so you guys
pictures.
you guys label the boxes.
Oh yes, it's all very labeled.
It's not like when you move, Josh.
No.
I just throw stuff in a box.
In,
right.
in fact, I just had a real success in that I have a client that is relocating internationally, and so had a van line pack them up. They were all packed. The stuff was off to storage to sit for a while until it gets crated and sent off. And they called me and said, "Debbie, we've got a problem." I thought she got out the passports. She thought I got out the passports.
Uh-oh.
Needless to say,
Oh my gosh.
neither one of us did. But because I participated in the move and was right there, I could identify the 3 boxes that those passports could have been in. And so the moving company found those 3 boxes. Luckily, it hadn't gone into storage yet. The client went there. They opened the first box, and there were the
Wow.
passports
That's awesome.
because they were leaving the next day.
That's a cool story, and that is great. That's a great service. It's a helping hand. It's organizing you. And the other thing that you might so if you're listening out there and you are maybe a senior, or you have a parent or parents that are seniors and they're thinking of contemplating moving, 1, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help. 2, Debbie's company, Senior Move Magic, can help you with that process, because it's a big process, and they're also helping you along the whole way with the actual packing, unpacking, moving, but not just a moving company coming in and saying, "Oh, we're loading your stuff and we're moving on." They're a full service type of situation, laying out the floor plan for you, putting the stuff in the right spots for you, putting the boxes together. I think it's just a phenomenal service that they provide for seniors and everybody, actually, but specializing in the senior moves. And it's really, really helpful, or really nice to hear people that care about the seniors and not just look at it as let's throw all this stuff in and get rid of it. And also helping out with, you said, donating, selling off stuff. How does that work? Give me an example on that. Let's say someone has stuff that you just go through and walk through, kind of hands-on approach to say, here's do you want to keep this or not? That type of scenario.
Right. We go through, again, we work from that floor plan as an example, but then we go through and say, okay, do you want this to go off to family? Does anybody want this? Is it an antique? Is it a value so that we should sell it off that way? Do we want to just donate it to a local cause? I had a missionary family that they had items in their house that was from their mission work, and so we found a cause that actually the money, when they sell those items and give it away, it goes to missions.
Nice.
And so you try to find out whatever is important or special to that client, and then try to have it go to a good home. Most people are fine with getting rid of their stuff if they know it's going to a good home. And face it, there's a lot of needy people in Minnesota that can use furniture and household items.
Yeah, all over. So the other thing I wanted to talk about when we get back, probably from a little intro on it now, but then next segment, is how busy people are. So if you're listening out there and you have senior parents, or you're a senior like my client was, who has children and grandchildren working full time, they have kids because she has grandchildren, so they're busy. So I know as a child, or someone who has a parent who might need to move or want to move, or has come time to move, you may be thinking, I can do this, I should be there, but maybe you're in Texas, or maybe you're in Rochester, or maybe you're in Colorado, and your parent is here, or your loved one is here. Do yourself a favor and have help. Call Senior Move Magic and have them help you, because my client in particular, she didn't want to ask for help from her, too much help from her.
Well, no one wants to
children.
come over. I ask for help all the time, and I even ask, I'll bring some beer, and everybody no one still comes over.
But it's a big deal when it's grandma, right?
Well,
when it's grandma and you're like, or it's
cooking,
mom, and you want to say, Mom, I want to be there to help you. What do I, but this takes time. This isn't something that's going to happen when you're coming over there on a Saturday for a barbecue.
No.
You need professionals, just like anything, like you would do with selling your house or with doing a loan. It's something that you need people to come in and help you for, and I think it's a great relief and a service that would help you with the relationship too, because it's not you going through and saying, Mom, we got to get rid of this. Dad, we got to get rid of this. We got to get rid of this. We got to get rid of this. It's a consultation with someone else where they're going to be more open, maybe, and less maybe argumentative with them when they're moving. But we'll be back more with Debbie Lowell with Senior Move Magic. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roueche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
Call Jason Light with Envoy Mortgage with any mortgage questions as well. He's right here. Thanks, Jason.
Oh my God.
Reach out and grab you.
Abracadabra.
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roueche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
Senior Move Magic Moving. We have Jason Light in studio with Envoy Mortgage. We're talking with Debbie Lowell, who's a transitions coordinator with Senior Move Magic that can help you move all over the world, all over the country, all over the world even. And they take you step by step through the process of moving with a floor plan. They'll even unpack your stuff for you. It's a very, very good service there. Before we left on break, we were talking about the family dynamic, which I think is awesome, and how it can cause some stress when someone's moving. We've all maybe been there, seen it happen, or been right there causing the stress, or maybe not causing the stress. But how, Debbie, what are some of the things that you guys do? I think we said you were talking a little bit on break about how you guys are. Tell us some situations where you could help a family in a situation where they may have a loved one who is moving and they maybe want to do it themselves, but then they say, oh, maybe we should get some help, or maybe what type of guidance can you give, or what kind of assistance do you give for that?
Well, face it, we all have different family situations, and as we're looking at stuff, let's say our grandparents need to move, they need to come out of their house. Who really wants to dig through Grandma and Grandpa's drawers?
It could be fun for a Saturday afternoon to see the old stuff, but then what? No.
But then that's the problem, is that family members are very busy.
Yes.
This day and age, family has their, the kids have their own kids and their own activities, and they might not have 3 weeks of vacation that they can dedicate to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
And if they do, they may want to spend it somewhere else.
Right.
No offense, Grandma and Grandpa, or Mom and Dad, but maybe they would want to go on to Yellowstone or something like that instead. But
right. And so what we do is we help, and we actually work along with the family. We usually find that the family might want to be involved at the beginning, thinks it's kind of fun, they take what they want, but then there's all the stuff that they don't want. And so what do you do then? Because face it, when they move that, and those realtors have a rule about having that house empty.
we do.
And having it clean.
Yes, we want it very clean. There are some tips to selling. Number one is make it clean is number one. Yep. It's very easy, or it can be hard
cluttered.
to do, but it's an easy thing to do is clean your house. And number two is open it up. And over the years, there may be some stuff in there that has to come out.
And we don't finance that stuff either.
Oh, exactly.
Right.
Lenders do not finance items like that, even though they could be super valuable or invaluable. But that might be, let's talk about the emotional piece of that too, because emotions when you move can be riding very high. Just not only from the thought of moving, but because you get so used to in something and very comfortable with it, the change may cause an emotional trigger, and that can kind of go through the family. Is that something that you see a lot, Debbie, with people as far as maybe they're emotional about in the beginning, or because you talk about how it's a good thing, you help and you see the positive at the end of the move. How do you get someone through that, the emotional blockage?
Well, there's a lot of emotional blockage. First of all, they don't know who to start with. They don't know who to contact.
Yep.
And then you have this stuff that, maybe your family does not really want. Usually we don't have the same taste as our parents. And so a lot of that stuff, well, what do you do with? And so the other flip of the coin is that you have a big family and everybody's fighting over the same things. So sometimes it helps to really have that mediator in there. So we just kind of each family, each situation is so different on how we handle it, and we have to really come up with the right process for that family and how to get them through this. But the goal is to make this move, first of all, get it done. The second is to make it a good, positive experience, because you know what? If Susie got that treasure, there might be hard feelings for life.
Oh, that's happened.
And that's happened.
That
or,
happens when
you know,
when my kids are 3 and
kid.
4 right now.
My
So that
treasure
could happen
chest,
when you're
right.
34 and you're 40.
Right.
I mean, you know,
Right.
that was something that you wanted, and
Mm-hmm.
someone. I mean, I've heard it happening within, you know, families and clients where they say, "Oh, so and so got this, and I really wanted it," or they got more. I mean,
they got
it's just
more, yeah.
It's such a sad deal, because that could affect that family's
It does.
relationship
It
or
can happen
those
long,
siblings'
yep.
relationships for a long time.
So we try to take that all out of it. And again, you know, our goal is to make it a positive experience and to get them moved and get them settled and, you know, make it a new chapter in their life.
Yes, I like it. So they help. So at Senior Move Magic, they help organizing, planning, preparing for a move, disposing and selling of items no longer needed, developing floor plans for the new space, which is something I have not seen anybody do in any moving company, which is awesome. And we have a partner on here with Ruth Movers, who are awesome. They
They do a great job.
do a lot of piano moving is what they started, but now they're a full service moving company. They're great. So I think Debbie and those guys should be in contact with each other. They oversee and schedule with the move. They pack your valuable treasures. They unpack for you, and then they clean and even stage. So that helps us realtors, or when
Yeah, I
when
love
you're
that.
cleaning the home and staging the home, so that assuming they have a home or they're moving out of a condo or a home, or maybe for the new person coming in, even if they already have someone coming in, that's a great service. And then they organize of personal and financial documents.
You guys unpack, man. I love that. That's the worst part of moving, is packing and unpacking.
So we've all heard bad stories about moving,
I love it.
breaking items, missing boxes.
This whole show, I've got
Workers
hair standing up. on my arm.
Workers showing
I do not like
up
moving.
late, going to the wrong address, putting stuff in there. I mean, all kinds of things. So how do you guys handle? How do you handle the valuable possessions of these clients that you have and the clients that you move?
Well, first of all, we, you know, pack them with care. Sometimes we hand transport them depending on how far they're going and what needs to be done with that. We go the extra mile. We truly want our client to be happy. We've even come in and had a situation last week where the wife fell. The gentleman was in the house by himself, now can't take care of himself at 90, and they need to go temporarily into an assisted living until she is better and come back home. Well, we went there. No family, no friends, no church, no
one to help.
resources. So with the social worker, we went in there and decided what they could take. But even then, you know, you get there and they're 90, they don't spend their money, and they're sleeping on sheets that are ripped. So, you know, we stopped and got him new sheets because they wouldn't fit on the bed he was moving to. So going the extra mile to make our clients and their families very happy.
I love it. Debbie, this is a great service. So how does, say someone out there says, you know what, Debbie, I'm listening to this. You might be a good resource for my mom or my dad or my grandma or my grandpa or me even. What, you know, can they call you and you come out and do a consultation, or kind of how does the
does it
initial
work?
steps work, or how does the
I mean,
initial?
what kind of questions do you get too when someone calls in and says, "Hey, are you guys a moving company? Are you guys licensed and insured? How's that all work?" I mean, are they asking those type of questions before they call in with you, or how does that process work when someone does call you guys for a consultation or for you coming out to their house? What kind of questions are you getting?
Well, first of all, we're part of that national association, and because we are part of that national association, we have a code of ethics. So we have a certain level of insurance that we carry. We are licensed and bonded.
Okay. And those are
So-
big questions because you get those when
Right.
going to a moving company because you're transporting stuff for them. They want to make sure that that stuff is taken care of.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
So we do have that. We also then come in and do a free in-home consultation because I could give you some ballpark
Right.
over the phone,
And, yeah.
but I don't know.
Based
you
off
know,
square footage, right.
Right, but I don't know. Is your house really full? Is it semi-full?
It's hard to tell. It's like us. It's like asking us
right.
realtors to give
Well,
an
an
exact
appraisal.
pricing
Right.
or a very tight range of a value of a home without being in the home.
Right.
We can get decently close by data, but again, just like you, Debbie, every client is different. Every home is different.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to actually be in the home because we don't. It has a feel. The home has a feel, and also it has certain amenities that you cannot see just by looking at it on
At
your
data.
aerial view or online, just like your clients' possessions and stuff. So you do a free consultation.
That's very cool. I like that a
And feel free, call Debbie. Can I give your number out, Debbie?
Sure.
952-261-5457. 952-261-5457. Senior Move Magic. Give her a shout. Jason Light, if you need a mortgage, give your number, Jason. Let's roll with it.
612-419-4517. And my license is 17256.
Great. We'll be back.
Gonna move together. Strong, move along like I know you do. And even when your hope is gone, move along.
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage Plus.
We have Jason Light with Envoy Mortgage in studio, and we're talking with Debbie Lowell with Senior Move Magic. That's her company, and they do all kinds of things, not just moving you. They do more of a broad approach, consultation, meet with you, go over what's valuable to you, help you get rid of stuff you don't want, help you keep stuff you do, sell stuff that you donate, you name it, and they unpack you when you get there. They do a floor plan for you. Very, very, very valuable service for someone. And with our population, the demographics, and talk about the aging population, no one, and I hope you out there that if you are in the senior category, you're not feeling like people are pushing you to move, because I think there's a lot of industry and a lot of businesses now with the aging population focusing on assisted living and senior housing and in-home care and all those things. All of it comes out of necessity, comes out of the need or the demand of what's going on with that and with that particular demographic and age group. And it's just a fact of life. As we get older, we need help. We need more help. Now, we talked about power and empowering you before with your legs and working out and doing that. That can empower you to keep you in your home longer. But when the time comes and you do want to move, or you have steps, or you have something that you don't want to deal with, or yard or lawn, or you name it, I'm sure, Debbie, you hear all kinds of reasons, then you will need help, and we're here to help. So reach out to us anytime at 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773, and you can call Debbie Lowell with Senior Move Magic at 952-261-5457. She's local here in the Twin Cities, but can move you around the world, right, Debbie? You
Right.
had an international client, which was awesome. That's and you found the passport. I like that story. So, what else? What other things are there that are, that differentiate, or that you would say, Debbie, that you guys are
Different.
yes better at than most? I went over a bunch of them there, but you're
We've talked a lot about a lot of what you guys do. I think the consultations that you guys do are
free
great,
consultation. Debbie will
Which
give
is-
you
which is great. The fact that they actually pack you and unpack you,
yes.
that's awesome.
And Debbie is the one who likes to move, so she
Yeah, and
shows,
she likes to move.
helps you understand the benefit of the move, because it can be, as we talked about, not you might look at it as someone, like a lot of people, if they've been in a house a long time, don't want to move, right? So
There's a different element to what you guys do, I think, too, is you really do dig in deep with the family, with the person that's moving, kind of game plan for them, and talk over, hey, what is your end goal here? What is it that you want to achieve here? And you guys go in there and help execute it. And that's what I like that. I like how you guys
Coordinate it all.
coordinate it, right?
Yes.
That's the true thing is we try to take the emotional and physical stress out of the process of relocating so that the person can actually sleep at night.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times if you have not moved in years, who do you call? Where do you start?
You're doing it all on your own.
You're doing it
potentially.
all on your own. Where do you even get boxes and paper and, what moving company should you call?
Right.
You just don't know where to start. You don't even know a lot of times what needs to be done with your home. So we then come in and also maybe give you a referral for some great realtors. Yeah. And we've got 2 here today that we can use. And they'll help you. But we also do aging in place. So some of you might not be ready to move yet. But let's say your health isn't great. You maybe had something and now you need a walker. Well, your house doesn't work for you because you've got too much furniture.
Yep.
So, we help you come in, again, do some floor planning and say, okay, if we move around this room, then you can get your walker through. If we move some of these dishes down lower for you, you can use them or raise them up. Yep. So, it's not a rush to get you out of your house when you're not ready, but to start preparing now.
Right.
I think that's great. The preparation we talk about on our show all the time. And this is something, if you want a consultation from Debbie, call her, because you may not be planning on moving for a year, 2 years, or 3 years, but at least you have the idea of someone you can go to, so you don't have. My client, who's been in the house I was talking about for over 50 years, called me, and when we finally, started working with her, she was having sleepless nights, like you said, that worry. Where do I go? What do I do? My kids are in Colorado and Texas, and they can't just fly in here and walk me through this and help me through this. Where do I start? I haven't bought a house. I haven't sold a house. I haven't moved in that long. It can be very worrisome and overwhelming to someone who's been in a house that long. And I love that it's a one point of contact. You have someone on your side. Debbie is on your side helping you. You can reach out anytime and call her and help out. And she will help you and have answers for you, or find answers and resources for you. That's the beauty of it. And that's kind of like Josh and I in real estate, and Jason in mortgage do the same thing. We want to feel free that you can always reach out to us with any questions, because we will, if we don't have the answer or the resource, we will hopefully and work to find you one. I think that's a very, very valuable thing to do, and that Debbie does. So you're not saying, well, now I have the moving company of X moving company. Oh, now I got to call X.
Now I got a
estate company.
Right.
Now I've got X box company. Now I've got. You have 5 different things trying to keep it straight, and now instead it's, I have a question, Debbie. I'm calling you.
Yep.
That's right. Is that how it kind of works, Debbie?
Right. Because moving is an event. It's like a wedding. There's lots of details, and timing is so critical. So with moving, we take care of and help you through that process, so you're doing things on a timely basis, and you will be ready at the end.
I love it. And it is an event. And it is, a wedding can be very stressful. And it is very stressful.
This is stressful.
So
But moving is just like that.
Yes.
It can be very stressful.
Yep.
And when you don't have the resources and don't know how the timing should work or who to use, then it becomes even more stressful. And you do have sleepless nights. And that's not what we want. We want people to rest easy, and remember, make moving a positive event.
yes, so for you listening out there, make moving a positive event, from Debbie Lowell with Senior Move Magic. Very well said, because that just doesn't fit the mold. And that's actually good information or good advice for us as realtors.
She likes it.
For us as realtors, and Jason and lending, is if we can, that's sometimes a daunting task for people, to prevent them from even wanting to sell their home or to do anything, because they don't want to move.
Right.
The thought of moving just is like,
I'd rather
I'll just stay here and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And that's
let it ride.
and that's not always the best for you. So, Debbie Lowell, Senior Move Magic, 952-261-5457. If you have any other questions for mortgage, you can call Jason Light with Envoy Mortgage. We have Warren, who does credit repair. All that will be found, all of our resources will be found on our Facebook page under Stockwell Roueche, or you can go to tcrealestatehour.com, tcrealestatehour.com. I hope everybody's enjoying the great summer. I went out boating with your boat club. They were on the show a while back. It's awesome. And you can go out on any lake. And I don't know what else you guys doing. What is Debbie? You're working like crazy, moving people. Is that all you're doing this summer, or anything else for fun?
Right, because the market's picked up, as
It is,
you
right.
said. So
business is good.
Business is good. All these people who have been waiting for the market to go up.
Oh, to get the value.
To
Yep, we
get
talked
the
about that.
value,
Yep.
they are now ready to move because they see that houses are moving fast.
I love it. So
We're
if
up-
that's you guys,
Yeah.
anybody, if that's you, waiting and been waiting in the markets here, give us a call. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage Plus.
Thanks again, Debbie Lowell, Senior Move Magic, and Jason Light with Envoy Mortgage. Remember, love yourself and love others.